It's time for the Cinemassacre
podcast. And now, the hosts with the most, James, Kieran, Justin, and this badass guest.
Welcome back to the Cinemassacre podcast. We are very tired.
/ a little hungover.
Well, I'm not hungover. I'm still drunk.
Oh, okay.
And I'm drunk and I'm pretty stoned at
You
this
have
point.
tree in you as well.
I am
yes.
I stopped drinking.
Yeah.
2 months, and then it was too many games, so I had a couple beers.
Low
So you had too
tolerance.
many beers.
Yeah.
So we just had our first convention back since pre-pandemic. First time seeing the fans in person again. Like we were waiting for this for a long time, and it was always kind of, a lot of stress associated with it because, so we didn't know if it was going to happen or not because it kept getting postponed.
The last year never happened. It really feels like a month went by, yet somehow an eternity too.
Yeah. No, I mean you're right. At the same time, it's very fast.
Doug is here.
Walker is here.
Oh yeah, hi.
Oh,
We
yeah,
forgot to
that's-
introduce Doug. Doug
That's
Walker.
Doug. That is Doug.
You want to introduce yourself, Doug?
I'm Doug Walker. If you probably know me.
Yeah, so Doug was in town for the convention, so we decided to, have you on. In any other circumstance, I'm going to say, let's not do podcasts after conventions.
It's Sunday night.
Right now, my car is full of guitars and cameras, and just I need to.
How is your first convention back, man? How was it?
It was awesome. It was so.
It was
awesome.
really fucking cool.
Yeah, and you know how people are all happy at conventions. You know how it's like. When you see people face to face and they're just all so excited. Everybody needed this.
I was saying, there's a lot of people I haven't seen for years that I saw again.
Yeah. Usually at conventions, I do a panel and then I do a Q&A. But this time on top of that, I also did the Rex Viper show. It was amazing. The whole room was packed. The whole band never even met in person until 3 days before the first ever show.
Yeah, and the full band only practiced twice together.
And all the people in the room are like, who the fuck are these guys? They were not having it. And I eventually was saying to I'm like, what are you guys here for? What are you doing?
I'm a pretty critical person, and so when you walk around, everyone's like, "Dude, that was great. That was great. That was great.
Yeah.
That was great."
Hey, you're all right.
Yeah. Well, to be honest, I was looking at the video of some of the clips later that people were posting, and I noticed when you're looking at it that way, you really can't hear, if you missed a note here and there.
No one sounds that good live.
Then it was all about all the checklist of all the other things that could go wrong. It's like, okay, make sure that amp sounds right. Make sure that
Speaking of party, should we bring up what we did the night before you performed? Because it's even more interesting.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah. So we had the after party, which I like to call the before party.
For me, I haven't turned off in a week.
I made a rule because the first con I went to, I got drunk accidentally, and it really was an accident.
I got a cup of it, I said. Left it up there breathing.
There's vodka already in there, right? What? Yeah. So I had 6 shots in a matter of not even 2 hours and stuff. And I started slurring my words and everything.
Wait, hang on a minute. Was it the mood slime?
Oh,
I don't think.
No.
Because I say, I'm never going to do it. But we always have a drink or something at a con.
Yeah.
And everyone's buying us drinks, constantly. Oh, Nostalgia, I'm getting you a drink. James will get you a drink and stuff. And I'm not having water with this.
Yeah.
Boom, 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 boom.
Oh, yeah.
Boom.
Because I'm pretty good at. But when so many people are coming up to you, just handing you this and that,
especially
hey,
people you haven't seen for so long.
Yeah. The hotel lobby, was really backed up. And I remember I ordered 6 old fashions.
Yeah, okay. And you were just there and you just kind of disappeared. And then I think you walked into the other room. You're so good at sort of just blending in with the hat and stuff like that, where it's like you vanish. Yeah. And then afterwards, when you go somewhere, I'm like, what?
Oh, do you remember the time in the smoke shop?
Oh, that was
good. Go ahead, you tell the story.
So they had the Philadelphia Ghostbusters there. Mm-hmm. And you came up and you saw them like, oh, what's that? I'm like, oh, it's the Philadelphia Ghostbusters. And you went, huh. I'll be right back. You kind of disappeared. Okay, he's doing James stuff, whatever. I'm talking to people. And suddenly you come back dressed as Rick Moranis from the movie with the little grater helmet.
Yeah.
You just had this. Yeah.
Gozer the Traveler. He will come in one of the pre-chosen forms. During the rectification of Valdrani, the Traveler came as a large and moving torb. Then during the third reconciliation of the last of the McKettrick supplicants, he chose that of a new form. That of a giant slore! Many shubs and zools knew what it was to be roasted in the depths of a slore that day, I can tell you.
Yeah. It's tricky.
But I guess, you guys want to talk about any, like, crazy convention stories you have? Something weird?
For the lulls, but like this dude was like, I'm like, I need someone to burn this $10 for me. And this one guy goes, I'll do it. And someone might report me. I don't know. So I was like, I can't do it myself. No, it
I'm
wasn't
calling the
even
cops
that.
right now, guys. This
It was
needs to
like-
be
it
reported.
was just
This
like, it was, and then he looked like he like killed someone. For
I
20
feel
bucks.
so
Oh,
fucking bad for that poor fucking hotel.
that was my
Those were the good moments.
I mean, we've all had our crazy drunken shenanigans at conventions, either as a guest or as staff or whatever.
Can we put a title right before he goes? Can we put a title that says "Times You Fucked Yourself"? I was playing with an exercise bike, and then I had to go to the hospital. I was stupid.
Same thing with my brother. Same thing with the bike.
Yeah?
The little chain. Was it the
really?
chain that did it, or was it the pedal?
It was the spokes, like the gear.
It ripped a good chunk of his
Wow.
finger. That's so
Rob
funny.
has
my brother, yeah, Rob, yeah.
Wow. So let's hear Kieran's Scarface story.
God. One night we're all drinking, and one of my friends tells Jamie, Kieran threw your moccasins. So he's like, what? Kieran threw my moccasins? What? And he's like, that's it. I'm going to suplex you. And he picks me up, and he can't lift me. He's not that strong. And I fucking just fell. I face planted onto the corner of Gaylord.
White lines. Kieran, I didn't mean to. I'm sorry, man. Running through my mind.
Kieran, you have to go to the hospital.
My mom watches the podcast. Just saying. So, Mom, I'm sorry.
Well, you've.
And I'm like, Mom, come on.
Years later, when I was in high school, I was opening like just some cookie dough. It's a really stupid thing.
The ways I fuck myself, aside from almost 40 years physically and mentally.
Everybody was like, rips on me.
You want to do some fan Q&A questions around this out?
Sure. It's fan Q&A.
Which part of the process is the most fun for you guys? Being in front of the camera, behind it, or post-production?
As I'm an animator, I like the post-production. I'm an animator.
I like performing, but it's like I like writing. I think that the writing and the editing, you can do it like at home, and the shooting just depends on where you're trying to shoot it. So a lot of times shooting involves a lot of
Can't waste everyone's time.
I don't like anything that involves cameras.
yeah, fuck that camera. Fuck that camera. Fuck you. Okay, so that's all the time we have for today on Cinemassacre Podcast. All right, now fuck those cameros.
Fuck those cameras.
Fuck them. See you next Tuesday. Thanks for coming out, Doug.
Sorry, just throwing the middle finger at him.
Throw it.
Thanks for listening to this episode of the Cinemassacre Podcast. See you next Tuesday. Remember to like this episode, subscribe if you haven't already, and comment below.
Throw it. Throw it.